Let's get started on time today. Hello, everyone, and welcome to EVTN News. I'm getting started on time today. I don't have too many stories to talk about, but let's get right into it. The Sacred Heart Parish in Herne, Diocese of Essen in Germany, has announced an ecumenical Harry Potter service to be held inside the Catholic Church on February 28th. According to the parish's promotional material, the gathering will use the entrance hall and the nave. The evening will begin with a magical prelude, followed by the service itself. The event is explicitly themed around the Harry Potter universe and invites fans and Hogwarts newcomers to enjoy references to candles, light and darkness, hope taking shape, butterbeer, Hogwarts house colors, and the opening of the Great Hall. All right, I don't know how well you can see that, but I think I'm all prepared, guys. I got my butterbeer right here. It's actually just an empty can, but you get the idea. A lot of fun. Okay, attendees are encouraged to wear magical attire, whatever that means. Probably witch outfits. So, Essen Diocese is headed by Bishop Joseph Overbeck, who is a likely candidate for the position of president of the German Bishops' Conference. And I remember he's one of the bad ones in Germany, which is saying a lot. I mean, how can you not be amused at this stuff? I mean, are they so faithless that they can't think of anything better to do? I mean, and people accuse the SSPX of being in schism. I mean, when was the last time you went to an SSPX church and they had witch ceremony? I think the Catholic Church used to burn witches, or was that just the Puritans in Massachusetts? I'm not sure. Okay, that's not good. My notes just shut off. Man, having a little bit of tech problems with most of these devices now, it seems like. Just try to ride it out as long as I can and see what's going on here. And I only had a few news stories, so let me just reload this here. Let me know your thoughts on the Harry Potter ecumenical service. Although, are they inviting Wiccans or what? Okay. The group known as the Feminielli, meaning a non-binary gender identity with ancient roots. So men pretending to be women, gathered at Church of the Annunziata in Mercogliano, Italy, for their annual pilgrimage La Giunta, honoring the biblical Mary and affirming the Feminielli identity. Despite the Giunta being an ancient tradition, this year was the first time misdressed men were invited to do church readings. I assume it's at a mass, so again, these are things that you'll never see at an SSPX parish. And by the way, not all of the other orders are bad as well. I was just discussing with the guy online about he was scandalized by Father Nolan in Denver, Colorado, the FSSP's parish in Denver, Colorado, in 2021, maybe 2020, telling his parishioners not to wear one of these and saying that they should deliberately ignore the bishop's orders. Archbishop Samuel Aquila, age 75, who was just replaced. If you're scandalized by that, then got some real problems. But Pope Leo, just this weekend, accepted the resignation of the Novus conservative Archbishop Samuel Aquila, age 75, from Denver, and appointed James Golka as his successor. Bishop Golka was previously Bishop of Colorado Springs. He was appointed by Pope Francis in April 2021, so not a good start. In June 2025, I believe a news entity described Golka as having similar ideological leanings as Pope Francis, so that's pretty bad. But there's some mixed signals here. Well, let me just say the connection to Pope Leo is a Peruvian priest, Ricardo Coronado Erascu. In Colorado Springs, he was serving as judicial vicar and chancellor of the diocese. He was an former Augustinian friar who left the order in 2021 to become a diocesan priest, and the Augustinians, he knew Robert Prevost, Father Prevost at the time, maybe Bishop Prevost, I don't know. In May of 2022, oh wow, the two had tensions. In May of 2022, Coronado resigned his office in Colorado Springs, and a settlement agreement was signed between him and the diocese. In 2023, the Colorado Springs diocese stated publicly it had received accusations against Coronado and that restrictions were therefore in place, even though he settled with him the previous year. The diocese did not specify the nature of the accusations. In November of 23, Coronado filed a civil lawsuit against the diocese and 24 against Bishop Golka personally. The case was later for breach of contract and defamation. The case was later dismissed by U.S. courts, but also in 23. So here's the connection between the three of them. Coronado became involved in the Chiclayo abuse allegations. Remember, this is a case that Pope Leo is happy to try to sweep under the rug. And there's been no progress on it. In May of 2024, he was hired by the three women who claimed they were abused between 2006 and 2010. He was acting as their lawyer. The accused priest had admitted to the sins. Lute Vasquez Gonzalez. So Prevost was obviously accused of mishandling the case. But as a cardinal, Prevost stated he had barred Father Lute from ministry. Okay, so there's some discussions about that. But less than a month after Coronado was hired by the victims to represent them, Bishop Golka signed a document stating that Coronado was already under canonical investigation and therefore could not practice as an ecclesiastical lawyer. This is where things get kind of interesting. Bishop Golka wrote that Coronado was not fit for the welfare of the faithful and accused him of attempting to intimidate the bishop through baseless and frivolous civil lawsuits. Bishop Golka's action was central in framing Coronado as disobedient and laying the groundwork for his laicization months later. He was laicized. And again, he was representing victims in Peru, but he was laicized in the process. In August of 2024, Peruvian bishops banned Coronado from practicing canon law after opening a penal canonical investigation. For alleged misconduct with an adult. Coronado firmly denied that accusation. In December of 2024, the Vatican expelled Coronado from the priesthood for misconduct, and they laicized him. The Peruvian bishops in the Vatican acted with striking speed in the case of this controversial priest. So that's an interesting story. Now, I do want to show you some, and also Anthony Stein said that there were, in Colorado Springs, the bishop, who is now Archbishop of Denver, supposedly pushed out 7 priests, basically told them to find another diocese. I don't know if that's true or not. There's nothing to back that up. There's no information to back that up. Just hearsay at this point. I hope that someone is able to find that, but who knows. Now, there is also this interesting bit of information, and I don't know how well you can see it. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Okay. So this is a flyer from November of 25. It's a flyer for the Inferno Catholic Men's Conference. It's called Beacon, and it's featuring Father Chad Ripperger, Bishop Golka, Jesse Romero. Wow. So that is very interesting. Bishop Golka probably had an idea of who was going to be there. So what does that say? What does that mean? Because bishops are very careful about who they associate with, as you can tell, with Strickland and lots of other stuff. They're very quick to, see who is associated with them. Now, Father Ripperger is, I believe he has faculties in the Archdiocese of Denver. So it'll be interesting to see if that continues with this new bishop. Well, we'll see what happens. I don't know. There's mixed signals. And also the bishop, there is a video on one of the parishes from Colorado Springs. They had a live stream of their confirmation mass, and the bishop celebrated a Novus Ordo ad Orientem, which, I mean, most bishops wouldn't be they wouldn't want to be seen not facing the people, facing the correct direction for a Novus Ordo, but they wouldn't want to be seen. They wouldn't want to be caught doing that, because in general that would seem to compromise their chances at being promoted. And this altar wasn't even a Novus, or it wasn't even an ad orientem altar. It wasn't even set up correctly. It was a freestanding table, but they still face the correct direction. So again, there's mixed information regarding him, and we'll have to. This is one where you'll just have to wait and see what happens. But it seems as though Archbishop Aquila was fairly solid in regards to pro-life, slaughter of the unborn. So we'll see what happens. Okay, the next story is Bishop Strickland. So of course he's now free to say what he wants, because he's not focused on what people think about him anymore, because he doesn't have a diocese. So he wrote an article in LifeSite News, which there seemed that there was a rift between him and LifeSite News, but he's actually written a few things recently for LifeSite News, so it seems as though they're mending fences. He was kind of manipulated by the bad actors that were trying to initiate a hostile takeover against John Henry Weston, but now Strickland is, I don't know, maybe he's back on the LifeSite team. We'll see. That'd be kind of neat. But he is writing for them, so I mean, obviously some fences have been mended. Anyway, as Strickland wrote a long article about the SSPX, and it was very good. I think that you should read it. I have some really neat quotes. These are all great. So I'll just read a little bit. He said, "The church is in an emergency, not an emergency invented by commentators, not a mood manufactured by social media, not hysteria. A real emergency, measured not in feelings but in facts. An emergency measured by silence where there must be answers, intolerance where there must be correction, and shepherds who refuse to name wolves, while those who simply want to guard the flock are treated as a problem." Okay, later on he says, "I'm speaking here of the Society of St. Pius X. They are not asking," and now later on he says this. This is completely unrelated to the wolves. He said, "I'm speaking here of the Society of St. Pius X. They are not asking for novelty. They are not asking for power. They are asking for bishops, because without bishops there are no priests. Without priests there are no sacraments. And without sacraments the church does not survive in any meaningful way. Patience is a virtue. But patience does not mean watching the priesthood die while those responsible refuse to act. Trust is necessary, but trust does not mean pretending silence is wisdom when it is not. Obedience is holy, but obedience is never meant cooperating in the erosion of the faith. There is a moment when continuing to wait becomes a form of surrender. The church does not need more silence. She does not need more delay. She does not need more careful statements that say nothing. She needs men who will stand, speak, and if necessary, suffer without illusions. Because the line is no longer theoretical. There is a line being drawn, and that is no longer theoretical. Read the full article if you can. I definitely recommend it. It's pretty good. And Bishop Strickland has shown that he's on the side of the Society of St. Pius X, and it's unfortunate that we've gotten to here. Now, Kissy Fernandez will meet with Father Pagliarani, the SSPX Superior General, and the two bishops. He will meet with them, I believe, on Friday. And we'll see what happens. I don't really have any idea of what's going to happen. I know that Kissy doesn't like to make very strong statements. He likes to kind of weasel. He likes to have kind of like weaselly things, so he can have a way out when he's wrong. I mean, just look at all the statements he's made. He's like, and he has nothing's been very definitive. Even his discouragement of the title Mediatrix of All Graces for Mary, because he even kind of backed down on that and said, well, you can actually use the title if you understand it, but most people don't. Like, okay, so why are you even bothering? Well, like, why are you even bothering making a statement on it then? I don't know. But I think it was the same with the LMNOP blessings document, where he said, "Oh no, you're not blessing the relationship, just the couple." Okay, whatever. So who knows what's going to come of that? We'll see. All right, well, that's all I have for you. So, man, short show today. Until next time, this has been EVTN News. Wait, let me get this banner here. There we go. Okay. Until next time, this has been EVTN News. Thank you so much for watching. We are the laity, and we will not be silent.